My name is Clara James. I thought I had a happy marriage with my husband Daniel, and I trusted my mother, Mrs. Rose James, more than anyone else in the world. But one rainy evening, something felt wrong. I came home early from work. The house was too quiet. I called out for Daniel and my mom. No answer. I heard faint whispers coming from our bedroom. My heart started racing. I walked closer, step by step, and when I opened the door, what I saw almost stopped my heart. My name is Clara James. I married Daniel Smith 4 years ago. He was kind, loving, and hardworking. I felt blessed to have him as my husband. After my father died, I invited my mother, Mrs. Rose James, to live with us. She had always been my rock. I believed having her close would make our home warmer and happier. At first, everything looked perfect. My mother helped with cooking and sometimes told us old funny stories at dinner. Daniel often thanked her for the meals. We laughed together like a family in a movie. But then, little by little, I noticed strange things. One afternoon, I came home early and saw my mother wearing a bright red dress and lipstick. She rarely dressed up unless we had visitors. When I asked her why she was dressed that way, she smiled and said, I just felt like looking good. I didn't think too much of it. A few days later, I woke up in the middle of the night and found Daniel was not beside me. I went downstairs and saw the living room lights on. But before I could enter, I heard whispers and quiet laughter. When I stepped in, the voices stopped. Daniel stood up quickly and said he was just drinking water. I smiled and went back to bed, but my heart felt uneasy. The next week, I came home early again. I called out, Mom? Daniel, I'm home. No one answered. I thought they had gone out, but as I walked past the corridor leading to our bedroom, I heard soft giggles. I froze. I slowly tiptoed towards the door. I reached for the handle, and as I turned it, my hands trembled. The door creaked open slowly. At first, I could not believe my eyes. There, on my own bed, was Daniel, my husband. Beside him was my mother, Rose. For a second, I thought I was dreaming. My legs felt weak. The world around me seemed to stop. Daniel's face turned pale. He quickly jumped up, trying to pull the bedsheet over himself. My mother gasped, clutching the blankets to cover herself. I stood frozen at the door. Tears stung my eyes but refused to fall. My voice shook as I whispered, Daniel, Mom, what is this? No one answered. I took a step into the room. My knees felt like they would give way. I clutched the door frame to keep myself standing. I left my job early today to surprise you both, I said in a trembling voice. But it is me who got the surprise. On my own bed, in my own house. Daniel stepped forward, his hands raised as if begging. Clara, please, it's not what you think. Not what I think? I cut him off, my voice rising. You were lying beside my mother. How can you explain that? I turned to my mother. Her face was red, her eyes wet. She looked down, unable to meet my gaze. Mom? I said, almost choking on the words. You are the one who taught me about love, trust, respect. You raised me. You blessed my marriage. How? How could you do this to me? A tear slid down my cheek. Finally, my mother spoke in a broken voice. Clara, I never planned for this to happen. I was lonely and... Lonely? I screamed. So you decided to steal the one man I trusted the most after you. Daniel moved closer. Please, Clara, it was a mistake. It happened only a few times. I slapped him across the face before he could finish. The sound of it echoed in the room. A mistake? I cried. No, this is betrayal. This is evil. Both of you under my roof, behind my back. I sank to the floor, my hands covering my face as tears poured down my whole body, shook with sobs. My mother tried to reach out to me. Clara, forgive me, please. I pushed her hand away. Don't touch me, I shouted. I don't even know who you are anymore. I stood up slowly, breathing hard. I looked at both of them with a pain I had never felt before. Leave my room, I said in a cold voice. I need to be alone. Neither of them moved. I said, leave! I screamed so loud that both of them flinched. Daniel lowered his head and walked out silently. My mother followed. Her shoulders slumped, her eyes full of shame. As the door closed behind them, I collapsed on the floor, hugging my knees and crying until my chest ached. I could still hear their whispers, and my heart felt as if it had been torn apart. That night, I stayed awake till morning, staring at the ceiling, wondering how my own blood and my own husband could betray me in the worst way possible. The next morning, I packed a small bag. I looked at myself in the mirror. My eyes were swollen from crying all night. I felt broken, but I knew I had to be strong. I walked into the living room. Daniel and my mother, Rose, were sitting there in silence. Their faces were full of regret, but I could not let my heart soften. I stood tall and said, Daniel, I cannot live with a man who betrayed my trust. Mom, I will always love you as my mother, but I will never forget what you did. I need time to heal. Both of you must leave this house. My mother began to cry. Clara, please, forgive me. Please, my child, forgive me, my daughter. I am sorry, please. I am sorry. Daniel fell on his knees. Clara, don't throw me out. I made a mistake. I will change. I held back my tears. I pointed to the door. You both made your choice. Now I am making mine. Leave. Slowly, they left the house. I locked the door and fell on my knees, praying for strength. I decided to rebuild my life, this time focusing on my life and my future. Moral lessons. 1. Trust is precious. Once it is broken, it is very hard to fix. 2. No one is above temptation, not even family. Stay watchful and set healthy boundaries. 3. Self-respect is important. Do not allow anyone to destroy your peace or your dignity. 4. Forgiveness is powerful, but it does not mean allowing toxic people to stay in your life. 5. Healing takes time, but with faith and courage, you can rise again after betrayal. Dear viewers, thank you so much for watching the story. Stories like this remind us of the importance of trust, family, and forgiveness. Please, if you enjoyed this story and learned something from it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Your support keeps me going and helps me bring you more touching and life-changing stories. Drop your thoughts in the comment section, like, share, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next story. Thank you for being part of this community. Stay with us for more emotional, dramatic, and inspiring stories. God bless you all.